because if you are bringing people to your table that have nothing to contribute but their mouth, they can't help you prepare the food, they can't even help build the table, they can't bring paper cups, paper plates, napkins, nothing to the table but their mouth, their hungry mouth, is that a person that you really need at your table? Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, then welcome. Go ahead and subscribe and join the family. So today I'm really excited. I watched a Plies video. Okay, wait a minute guys. So I watched a Plies video that my mom sent me on Instagram. It's a long story. And I thought he brought up some really great points. So it's something that I actually wanted to talk about today. Okay, so there was a lot going on in that clip, yes. But I think the idea that he brought up was really important. A lot of us right now, we're adhering to like local or state government. The federal government has said, you know, stay inside, stay at home, quarantine, let's get this virus under control. So consequently, there are some people that, one, are not listening, but for most of us that are adhering to what has been asked of us, we are, you know, limiting our interaction with friends in terms of like physically. We are, even some of us, limiting our interaction with our family, with our coworkers, all these different people. And I think that maybe that's something that needs to continue. I am a person that is very, very invested in my space. I protect my space. The term that I typically use, I'm protecting my table, because a lot of us have this belief that we need to bring people to the table. We need to provide opportunities for as many people as possible. We need to, you know, spread the wealth and spread the kindness and the compassion and all these things, and that is great. That is inherently a great thing, but in practice, a lot of times that can be detrimental to us, to our well-being, to our table, because if you are bringing people to your table that have nothing to contribute but their mouth, they can't help you prepare the food, they can't even help build the table, they can't bring paper cups, paper plates, napkins, nothing to the table but their mouth, their hungry mouth. Is that a person that you really need at your table? That's the question. Like, do you need that person there if they have absolutely nothing to contribute but company, someone to sit with? A lot of us are afraid to be alone, and I think that quarantine is highlighting that in a lot of people. There are a lot of people that don't want to sit with themselves at that table. They don't want to eat alone, so they're open to just bringing any and all people to the table with them for the sake of having someone to eat with. If you are that person, you need to reevaluate what you have going on within yourself. We all need to be more conscientious, more intentional, and more purposeful with the way that we spend our time. Now, I am going to be doing another video about what you should be doing during quarantine, during this pandemic, and it's probably not going to be what you think it is. There are a lot of posts going around talking about all these things that you need to be doing. You need to be leveling up and glowing up and all of this. I'm going to do another video about my take on what you should be doing right now. But for the sake of this video, we need to really evaluate once this is over, because this is not going to last forever. I do think that the pandemic is going to change the way that we live our lives, even after a cure has been found and, you know, it's not as big of a threat as it is right now. It's going to change the way that we live. But I do think it needs to change the way that we interact with people permanently. Even once this is no longer a threat, it's never going to be a great idea to bring people to your table that have nothing to bring but their mouth. That's never going to be a thing. That should never be a good thing, okay? There are some people that this pandemic, I think, has shown are not fit to be at your table. And that's okay. That's okay. It really is. We need to find a way to be okay with, one, being ourselves, and two, being with ourselves. If you don't want to spend time with you, why would anyone else want to spend time with you? If you don't want to spend time by yourself with yourself, why would anybody want to spend time with you? Anybody that's worth having around, why would they want to spend that time with you if you can't even spend time with yourself by yourself? It's like there are some people that are just toxic, that are toxic in your life, that is the same revolving door, the same cycles, the same patterns, and there's no point in trying to figure out why it's not working with these people. Why are we just not getting along? Why is it so toxic? At the point where you acknowledge that it's toxic, it doesn't matter why it's toxic other than like you acknowledging like what you're doing wrong in the situation. But the main thing that you're doing wrong in that situation is being in that situation. It takes two people to be toxic. One person is not, you're not going to be in a toxic relationship with a person, but nothing that you're doing is toxic. If nothing else, the toxic thing that you're doing is continuing to be in that relationship. Okay? So nobody can be toxic on their own. It takes two people, the same way it takes two people to tango, it takes more than one person to be in a relationship. It takes two people to be in a toxic relationship. So at the point where we acknowledge that the people around us are not benefiting us, they're not doing anything to positively impact our lives, we have to make a decision for ourselves, by ourselves, to do what needs to be done for ourselves. It's not about trying to fix the broken birds. We can't fix all the broken birds in the world, and that's not our responsibility to even do that. The broken birds have to take initiative to want to fix themselves first. So if you are in a situation where you are nursing broken birds back to health, and I mean figuratively, because if you are nursing actual birds back to health, that could be a great thing. But if you are nursing these proverbial, metaphorical birds back to health, and you yourself are not nursing yourself, you're not working on yourself or fixing yourself, and even if you are, understand that the same energy that it's taking for you to constantly pour into people that cannot pour back into you is slowly but surely depleting you to where you won't be able to pour into anybody. So next time you feel like you can't let these people go because they'll have nothing without you, they have no self-worth without you, you're being toxic with that person. Acknowledge that. You being the crutch for that person is toxic. You knowing that you are a crutch for a person, that a person can't live without you, and still continuing to be the crutch for them, that's a toxic trait. So again, reevaluate the people that you have at your table, the people that you're allowing into your space, that you're sharing energy with, and just try to figure out if those people belong where they're at. I actually posted something on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, and it was just really talking about energy. I'm a person that's really into energy and to examining my own energy, and then also kind of keeping track of the energies that I'm receiving from other people in addition to the energy that I'm giving off to other people. So the post what I posted on my story was something to the effect of, we have to stop being selfish when we think about who we want to be around and the energy that they're giving. So what I meant by that was, if you're choosing to be around toxic people, you can say like, well, it's up to me. Like, these are my friends. I get to decide who I want to be around. It's not up to anybody to dictate who I'm around, why I'm around that person, or anything like that. Like, that's my business. And to a certain extent, I would agree with you, except you undoubtedly exchange energy with all of the different people that you interact with on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or even if you only talk to that person for a month. If you have negative energy and you're talking to me, I can only expect that some of that energy is going to transfer over to me. Case in point, have you ever had a conversation with someone and you could just tell that they were having a bad day? Like, you were having a great day prior to talking to them, but something about their energy just kind of like, it started to rub off on you, and you were just like, ooh, I felt much better before I talked to you. Like, before you called me, I felt much better. And so now I just need to like recalibrate and just get myself back together because I was having a great day prior to running into you. It's the same like with energy. Like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You can be having a great day, you can be like super positive, super excited. The same goes like if you've ever had like really great news to share with someone and you called and they were just like, oh, that's nice, cool. Like, and it just really messes you up and you're like, why did I call her? Like, that's not what I was looking for. And so it's this, like, that's exactly what it is. Like, people's negative energy undoubtedly impacts you. And it's not just in a case of like, oh, I had something exciting to say, or, oh, this person is having a bad day. But sometimes it's like the person that you know that is always complaining about something. They're always having a bad day, or anytime something happens, they're instantly angry, or the person that's so impatient, and if they have to wait for something, they're in a bad mood. People that like are easily triggered, or that they're cursing all the time. Like, any person that you see that has toxic traits, if you're always around that person, some of those traits are going to impact your energy. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to become the person that is always going off on people or that's super impatient, but just having contact with a person that has those characteristics is going to impact you. And it doesn't matter how much you're pouring into yourself and how much you're praying and meditating and thinking good thoughts, and it doesn't matter how many great things are happening to you. By having those people around, they are unconsciously like depleting your soul. Like, they're depleting your energy, because it's just inevitable. Like, that energy exchange is gonna happen if you are in contact with those people. So it's important to be conscientious of that, because part of it is selfish. If I know that this person over here has all of these negative traits, and that I know that in being around this person it's going to impact me, that means that now when I go to this person, this other loved one that I have, this girlfriend or boyfriend, my best friend, my daughter or sister or mother, I'm gonna be transferring that energy from negative Nancy over here that got transferred to me onto them. That's selfish. Especially when I can choose to not deal with negative Nancy. Negative Nancy is always having a bad day. So what do I need to talk to her for? Like, I already know what's gonna happen if I talk to her. She's always negative. She's always worried about something. She's always just in a bad mood or easily triggered or whatever. I know that about her. So what I do know is that her energy is going to impact me, and my energy is now gonna impact my sister, who has absolutely nothing to do with negative Nancy, has told me not to deal with negative Nancy, and she doesn't want to deal with negative Nancy, but I'm being selfish because I'm choosing to deal with Nancy knowing that she's going to be impacted. So yeah, when quarantine is over, you need to establish which relationships you're going to continue to social distance from, and which of them you can kind of like go back to normal and love on that person and be around that person, because all relationships are not equal, all relationships are not worth saving, and all people are not investments into you. A lot of them are just taking. They're taking and taking because they know no other way, and because they are empty and they need what you have. You have to ask yourself, are you willing to deplete yourself to fill up negative Nancy? All right, that's all I got, guys, because I can go on forever. But make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you like this video, that you give it a thumbs up, that you share this video with somebody that needs to hear it, because I know that there are people that need to hear this message today. So I hope that you guys enjoyed, that you got something from it, and I'll see you guys next time.